Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND was fantastic in almost every aspect. Kingdom Hearts 3 as a whole got a significant upgrade in terms of combat and boss battles, while also doing so much for the next saga as far as anticipation overall interest goes. Though ReMIND did make some funky decisions, I must say, one in particular that I can't help but question every time I replay the main story of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's kind of simple, and if you don't replay the game often, then it may not matter to you at all. Typically, when a Kingdom Hearts title makes a transition from vanilla version to final mix, they tend to implement a lot of the newly added combat abilities into the main story. This was the case for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and content featured in Birth by Sleep Final Mix. Admittedly, what probably made this all the more convenient was that these were re-releases, with the Final Mix attached compared to ReMIND, which is a DLC integration, but essentially is what would be comparable to a Final Mix for previous titles. With Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND being mostly endgame content separate from the main story, they don't include any of the new abilities in your new playthrough as you progress or level up to spice up combat. Rather, the only way to access the new abilities in a playthrough is by starting a New Game Plus file, which is a good option, but doing New Game Plus inherently comes with a lot of other things that would make the main story less of a challenge and a little less engaging even on a level 1 playthrough. It's still tons of fun though, but typically when I do replaythroughs of Kingdom Hearts 3, while I like doing New Game Plus sometimes to test out Keyblades in certain fights, I prefer to do a file without it so I can get that same feeling that I'm replaying the game from the beginning. The new ReMIND abilities serve way more purpose than just looking cool or being more speedy compared to Vanilla Sora's moveset as well. On critical mode and level 1, since it's a lot harder to build up situation commands and forms due to the gauge taking longer to build, the new abilities in ReMIND being so fast with so many attacks makes building up the situation gauge a lot better without the need for magic commands. This isn't a change I really minded going from Proud to critical mode, but it is something that is cool about the new abilities. There are mods of Kingdom Hearts 3 on PC that integrate the ReMIND abilities into the base game in a similar way previous Final Mixes did, so if you want that experience you can do that if you own the games on PC. However, it's a bizarre thing that Square Enix, with the exception of a few great system changes like being able to cancel out of more finishers, released ReMIND without touching the main story pretty much at all. I've loved Kingdom Hearts 3 before ReMIND released, and all ReMIND did for me was solidify it as my favorite game even more. And still is, though I definitely would have loved to see some new additions made to the main story playthrough post DLC, or at least have some of the ReMIND additions added to that. Instead, you just get all the ReMIND abilities just at once as soon as you unlock the ReMIND stuff. With the future of Kingdom Hearts heading into uncharted territory, there is minimal hope for updates like these to happen now, with the focus shifting towards Union Cross and whatever they decide to announce early next year for the 20th anniversary. But Square Enix is a company that likes to surprise you, so you never really know. Though I know this topic is a little weird and definitely a little late as well. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I want to hear your thoughts on some of this. If you did enjoy today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Bye, guys.
Now she's a daydreamer. She's always thinking about him. No more room in this picture for you to fit in. Now she's